Hello friends, and welcome to another episode on the Riverhouse Games YouTube channel. My name is Taylor LaBrush and I use he, him pronouns, and we are going to talk about game jams again. That's essentially what this YouTube channel has become, is just, a discussion of all the amazing game jams that are out there on itch.io in the tabletop RPG space. And I promise we'll make some other videos at some point, but we're just going to hang out here. This is what I am truly loving about the community right now, is the game jam scene. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to create your own game jam today. So a lot of people have, been buzzing about game jams. They've had some really amazing ideas. I've also had a couple people talk to me and ask me, how do I do this? How do I make a game jam? We're going to learn about doing that today, and we're actually going to set one up on stream here. So by the time this video goes live, you'll actually be able to participate in the game jam that we're going to make in the video. The first thing that we're going to want to do is go to itch.io. We are going to jump on into itch, and you can see we're going to go into jams. And you can see the jams that I've joined here. We've got a few. So we also have a list of all the jams that are currently running, and a lot of these are video game jams. For indie tabletop, that might not be the ones that we want to look at. Not to say that I don't think that you could submit, but I think that they're a little bit more focused on the video game side of things. So this would be a good place to go if you're looking to participate in a jam, but we want to make one. And you can see there's this big old button that says host a jam. We are going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to create our jam. And the thing that I really love about Itch is that it has a lot of resources for you if you're interested in creating a jam. So it will tell you exactly how it works. I'll just scroll through and you can see a little bit about what we can read about. So anyway, at the bottom we see this create a game jam button. We're going to go ahead and press that, and this is the page that we're going to just use to fill out our jam. Let's think of a clever title. I know that I want our jam to be about gardening. I had a bunch of tweets here the other day about different kinds of games that could uphold and have you practice different elements of sustainable gardening. So we've got games about building bee-friendly gardens. We've got games about restoring soil nutrients, making seed bombs for urban areas, which trees best offset the effects of global warming, how to invite snakes, reptiles, and amphibians into your gardens, which is a vital part of the ecosystem. All of these are different cool concepts that I really want to explore. How do we turn these into games and get people a little bit more excited about fostering a healthy ecosystem where they live? We are going to make a gardening game jam. Let's think of a clever title for this gardening game jam. Oh, here we go. What if we built something, and I think that this is great, if we have the gardening game jam take place from the first frost to the last frost. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, so I went on to the Old Farmer's Almanac, which has a lot of planting dates and data, and it gives you some estimated first and last frosts. Our last spring frost is estimated to be April 28th, and our first fall frost is estimated to be October 6th. That gives us 160 days for our game jam, which is a nice round number. I am thinking, what if we call this game jam From Frost to Frost, or what if we call it Growing Season? I like Growing Season. All right, a gardening game jam from frost to frost. I took a half day today, and I spent a little bit of time at my favorite place in the Twin Cities, which is the Como Zoo and Conservatory. And I took a bunch of photos at the conservatory. Maybe one of those can be really cool. So I keep a list of photos that I've taken that could be good. They're high-res photos that could be used for any number of different Riverhouse Games things on my Google Drive. I took one that could be fun to use if we're looking at a game jam based on the different frost dates. Live plants protect from heat and cold. So let's go ahead and use that as our cover image. We'll want to download that first. So let's set our start dates. It looks like it's making us do that before here. So what did we say? April 28th through, October 6th. Oh, nice. That's a Sunday. It'll be a good day to end on it. All right. So we've added our start and end date. And then next we are going to see, so there's an option here to have voting. I think we have an opportunity as a community to set some standards about game jams. A lot of video game jams have opportunities for ranking systems where they can, have a competition for those who have entered the jam, and judges can vote and determine winners. I think for the tabletop community, I really enjoy the idea of non-ranked jams. We have a couple competitions that have run outside of Itch, like Game Chef or Golden Cobra. Those are really great competitions, but I think the joy and the energy and what I get most out of those events is just the act of participating and the the buzz that comes around everything, the working with friends to hash out ideas. Hand in hand with that, I think competition can lead to some unhealthy attitudes around jams. There's been some critique about game jams as putting the pressure on folks to always be building and producing content that could lead to burnout. And that's definitely not something that I want to promote with jams. I really love game jams because when you have that spark of creativity and inspiration and you can create something on that, you can really contribute to that community and have that buzz and excitement around something. So I would really encourage folks, if you are making game jams, click this non-ranked entry. So once we've set our dates, we can enter in a cover image. So I've uploaded this live plants protect from heat and cold. I'm going to go ahead and add that in here. So now this is the hard part, because now what we're going to do is we're going to create a description for the game jam that's going to tell people a little bit about the jam, what they can expect from entries in it, what they can expect for some creative constraints when applying to the game jam, and give them a little bit of a seed of inspiration for making something. So bear with me here. I'm going to type up our game jam and we'll be right back. I have some boilerplate text that I've been using for game jams to sort of set the standard the same way that we've set the standard about rankings. The first thing that I want to start establishing as a community is that it's always okay for late submissions. Again, going back to that critique where it can feel like jams are required as a content creator, if we set an established agreement that game jam submissions can be taken outside of that window, that can help take some of the stress off of folks who might be concerned about life events getting in the way of a game jam. Your life comes first. So I have a boilerplate text in my game jams that says, while this game has an official runtime, please know that we will literally always take late submissions. The next thing that I want to help maybe make it a little bit more standard for is pricing for games. I think that it's important that we encourage people to charge for their games. The ultimate decision of how much is this game worth is up to the creator themselves. But if we put some text into our game jams like this, we encourage you to charge for your games. We have the opportunity to set a standard, and if you'd like to follow it, you can set the minimum price for your entry as $5 and the suggested price as $10. With that said, we also encourage you to include consideration for those in financial hardship by either including a plain text copy of your game available for free or including the following text in your game's description. Quote, if the price of this game is a hardship to you, please email me at your email here or DM me on Twitter at your Twitter here, and I'll get you a download key, no questions asked. All right, so we have our description. So we've got a little blurb here and a little bit about, encouraging folks to make different games. We've got some example ideas that people can steal or just, make their own games. We are gonna go ahead and put this up. Let's give folks a little bit of a submission details. So this is something that people will see as they upload their games here. Let's give it a Twitter hashtag. Let's call it Garden Jam or Garden Game Jam. So when we are ready, we are gonna go ahead, we're gonna hit publish. We can see here a little bit about what our jam looks like. It's not gonna have that featured image that we uploaded, but let's go ahead and set a background image because this gray text is a little boring. So one place that I really like to go for photos, if I don't have them uploaded here, I like to use a resource called Unsplash. You can find it just as unsplash.com. These are beautiful, free photos. It's a really great and supportive community. And there's a lot of amazing high-res photography that you can use for your game jams and your games even. So let's go ahead and let's find Garden. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. So let's download it. Let's go back and edit this jam. Give our creator some credit here too. So we've given our Unsplash person some credit. So let's go ahead and add a background image. Oh, that looks great. You get the little potting soil in the back. So this is what that jam is going to look like when folks jump in here. Let's make some of these colors a little bit more jam appropriate. So we want green. All right. So this is our jam. And then let's save. And perfect. That's it. And so now what we want to do is just encourage people to go out and join the jam. So we'll tweet about it. We can go ahead and just talk about it on YouTube pages. Tell your friends, make games for it. Folks will just kind of jump in as they see it. I think from here it's important to encourage people. So what I've done, I did one jam previously. It was the Cozy Game Jam. So let's go ahead. When I was running Cozy Game Jam, I would scroll through the Twitter hashtag and just kind of look at who was making what. And I would retweet, I would comment on everyone's game submissions, and just encourage and build that sense of support and like enthusiasm for the games that people were making. And I think that really went a long way towards building that community of the jam and getting people involved in it. And we had 33 submissions, which I think is pretty healthy for a game jam. It's definitely more than I thought. It was about 30 more than I thought we were going to get. So let's see what we can do in growing season. We will check back in a few weeks or maybe a couple months, maybe closer to the end of the year, and see what's been going on with growing season. But until then, I just want to say that you can support all sorts of Riverhouse game stuff by backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/riverhousegames. You can buy all sorts of really awesome games at riverhousegames.itch.io. You can help us out on YouTube by hitting like, by subscribing, by smashing that bell, by commenting down below. Tell me what kind of game jams that you are interested in making, and link to them in the comments here. You can listen to the podcast that I make called Game Closet on iTunes. It is a informal chat show with all sorts of really amazing queer and LGBT plus designers. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Leviathan Files. Until next time, I just really want to encourage you all to share and enjoy.